Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking you through making perfect XT60's. You can get them terribly wrong, but after all this is your main power connection to your flight controller. So let's show you how you can get it perfectly right. Join me on the bench. Okay, I've got everything going on tonight. I've got the washing machine on, I've got the 3D printer on. It's one of those days, but I need to crack on and do a few bits. So tonight I'm going to show you how to do a simple but really effective soldering job on your XT60's. Like me, I like them to come out nice and perfect like this. But historically, I've done some pretty bad soldering jobs in my time. So how can we make them so they're all nice and tidy? Well, a little tip for you, it requires a hot soldering iron, so none of your cheap soldering irons please, just get yourself a reasonably decent and hot soldering iron. If you've got the little clawy lip gripper things for holding stuff, great. I find a blob of blue tack on a paint tin works amazingly for what I do. This is 12 AWG wire, and basically all we're going to do initially is we're going to cut it to size. Now, as a tip, let's cut to 100mm. Just roll either side. Just roll it around, just as it brings the silicone wire up to the level with the wire that you've cut off. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put them in a position like this. Now, we take our solder. Now, good, bad or indifferent, so I've got some really old flux here, and I'm just going to sweat some flux. I'm not going to try and get solder in, I'm just trying to go and sweat initially some teeth aren't working, some flux down these wires. Okay, all we're trying to do is sweat. Okay, now the great thing with silicone wire is it's designed for very high temperatures. Now I've currently got my soldering iron set to 350 degrees, which is more than ample for what I want to do here. So now we've got that sweating in, just apply a little bit of solder in until it starts to bead up. Okay, and the same on the other side, just sweat that solder in. Now you can see it's beading up, it's fine, we can do that, but just keep your heat on and it will start to bubble. Okay, and we do the same on this side. Just keep the heat, you're not going to destroy anything, this silicone wire is quite robust. Okay, now what you should get is a little dimple at the top when you know that it's full. So we're just going to let that cool down for a couple of seconds, and you'll probably find that it pulls the blue tack off with it. Don't worry, look, it's because it's hot. Okay, so let's just roll it around on there. It will get rid of the bits of blue tack that we need, and as it cools off it'll be great. Give it a quick wipe, and the same for this one. Give it a quick wipe. Okay, so now we've got two that we've sweat solder down. Now if I take a little knife over here without destroying everything, now you want to move in by around about 5mm and just roll. You're not trying to cut, you're just trying to crease that outer skin. And look at that. Look at that. Perfect. All the wires are tied in. A dream. Now do the same on the other one. Pop that off. Look at that. Oh, and it doesn't really get much better than that if I can get it into focus. But yeah, so what do we do now? Well, in this particular build, normally I'm religious about red and black as my two cables, but in this instance I'm trying to do a stealth build that's got exactly the colours that I wanted. So I'm using two black cables, but I've also got a little black XT60. So what we're going to do now to solder these, we're going to push that into our... Now these can easily be moved around. Now here's an older one that I've got. If I just take a pair of snips, you can move, by taking a grip, you can move them around really quite easily like that. So just a little tip there for setting that out. So once you've got that, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to slide that in there, and look at that, it fits perfectly. Lock that down inside, push that down in there, lock that down inside. Now they're held in place. Now once again, a bit of flux onto the end of my solder, hot soldering iron again. Let's just clean it off. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go and just get that to like so. Let's get a little bit more solder, a little bit more flux. Perfect. Just hold them steady for a second. Fabulous. Now, just going to let that cool a little bit, because otherwise, once again, I'm pulling the blue tack with it. Give it a quick clean of the flux. Now, you might want to clean it with solvent cleaner or with alcohol. Feel free to do that as you wish. So what will we do now? We are going to find some heat shrink that's going to work on there. And I'm just going to pop that to size. And once we've cut that to size, let's see if this comes. Look at that. Once again, usually brings a little bit of blue tack with it, but we can pull it off. Lovely. Just look how clean that is. Really, really nice, clean soldering joint. So for now, we're going to slide down our heat shrink on both. So a bit of a mess, that one. Let's just find a better set of snips. That's better. And we're going to slide that down too. That's good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm quite simply going to take the heat gun that is set up over here. I'm just going to heat that. Now I actually find I've got this heat gun with the soldering iron, and I've also got a heat gun for crafting. It's called a crafting heat gun. I find the crafting heat gun has got a more aggressive hairdryer like effect, but that's done it quite nicely. Let's just push it down there a little bit more without destroying it. Okay, and there we go, a perfect XT60, all ready for a build I've got planned.
So there you go, perfect XT60s every time. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me in the next one.